Hi, Aquarius. I'm Lisi, the High Priestess, and this can resonate in your past, present, your future, something that you're watching on TV, conversations. This is a new channel, so press like, subscribe, notification. With the notification, you can watch my lives. If not, you have to wait 12 hours. Okay, so before I started, this is so funny because on the Spanish Aquarius, I got the same exact card. But before I continue on, I wanted to tell you what I was watching before I came to do your reading. I was sitting down with my son and I was watching a show that he was watching. Sometimes the things that I watch will synchronize to me. Aquarius, you're going to find yourself synchronizing a lot of the things that you're seeing on TV or through like anything that requires energy, such as the radio, the TV. You're going to synchronize with the things that you see. Okay. If you don't know what synchronicity is, please look it up. Well, I was watching this, okay, and there was two robots, okay. There was a female robot that was a goose, okay, and her job was to seduce a man and then attack him, once the man fell in love with her. And then there was like a reptile alligator. His job was to, his mission was to find the bad guy and destroy the enemy. Okay, he was tough and big. So someone destroyed with muscle and the other one destroyed with love. Okay, and for some reason, okay, they ended up, encountering each other, and they were both like had a common enemy. They had both the same mission, but and they had a common enemy. So while they're there fighting and stuff, were checking each other out. And then once they beat the common enemy, uh I think the reptile, he was like an alligator or a crocodile or something like that. And he had saved her life, and she was like, "Oh," and she gave him a kiss, and he was so shocked. He was shocked, like because he fell for it, he gave her a kiss back too, and so they kissed each other. And he was shocked. He Because both of these are like mechanical beings. They're not supposed to have emotion. They're just supposed to be on a mission. They're supposed to complete the mission, and that's it. These are what are they called? Artificial IEs, artificial intelligence, or whatever. They weren't supposed to have emotions, but they did. And so when the girl got hearts in her eyes, the goose, and she kissed the alligator, he was in shock. He didn't know how to react. He's never been in love, never felt what it was to be loved. And so his natural reaction was to push her. And he pushed her and she cracked her head and she was upset and she was crying and she was like, talking her little AI language, like, and he was upset. Like, he was so upset that he like pushed her. She cracked her head. He didn't mean to push her hard. It was just his natural reaction was to push her away because he's not supposed to fall in love. He's never known what it is to have real love. And then as she went down, and he was so angry that he started hitting everything against the wall, like he was hitting himself. And like, how could I hurt her because I didn't know. He's talking AI talk. I can't understand these damn cartoons, but it was funny. It was cute and funny, and he was hitting himself and all of that. Like, he didn't want to hurt her, so he just started trying to hurt himself. And he ended up falling down and he lost his leg because he was all pissed off, like punching the walls. Like, how could I hurt her? How could I crack her head? How could I do that to her? He was so pissed off at himself because he ain't never felt that emotion of love. And she was there all crying, like, oh, like, no, he doesn't love me. And so he comes across like he's angry. He's lashing out at everybody. He's lashing out at everybody that comes his way. And he's trying to replace his leg so he could go back to her and apologize or try to make things right, fix her cracked skull. And so he attacks another little robotic thing, but he didn't have a leg, but he was trying to get the little scooter that he had so he could make it into a leg. And Well, apparently, I guess the leg that he was missing or something like that had a ring. He wanted to give a ring to that duck, and she didn't know about it. Like he had a special ring that like he only gave to people that like he was trying to save them. It would help them. It could get rid of their cracked skull or whatever. He was just so upset that he was the one that hurt her. And so he's all going insane, and the maker was about to destroy him, and the goose seen that she was like, no. And but because before the maker had seen that he was acting out or whatever, she had seen him acting a mess and everything, and seen that from that leg that he had, that the ring had fell off. And she was like, oh, and she grabbed it, she put it in the skull, and it like healed her skull. So she wanted to go give him the ring so he can heal his leg. At the same time, she was trying to, that the maker of the alligator was going to destroy him because he was acting a mess. He was acting a damn fool. And she went over there and saved him. Went over there while she shot the gun at him. She saved him, and they rolled around. And while she saved him, her feet, her toes, she missed the nail. She broke off a nail, and she was screaming, ah! And the alligator again was like, oh no. And then he seen the ring on the floor. He went and grabbed the ring and he put it on her toe, and her toe was saved. And then both of them looked at each other with little hearts because now he knew what it was to love. And they both looked at each other and they gave each other a kiss, and his leg grew back. And then the maker was all like, oh my gosh, like, what is it with you two? Jesus, okay. Now, look, on the bottom of this deck is the Four of Wands. And I'm going to show you what's on the bottom of the deck of the other one. Okay, it's the devil. Okay. Someone thinks that marriage, okay, or being in love is of the devil, or commitment is the devil. Like, no, I don't. I need to be a savage. And let me tell you something. The alligator looked like this man right here. He looked just like this man, like he's on a mission to destroy everyone. And he ain't never met love like that before, because the mission of the woman was to seduce people and make them fall in love with her. Okay. My goodness. Okay. Falling in love, distracts a person from their mission. Okay. So the Eight of Cups, and and he was like with anxiety and stuff. Hi, love, how are you? He was with anxiety, like he can't believe he had pushed her off. It's just that he ain't never been kissed before. Okay, he ain't never felt that kind of feeling before. Okay, like it went whoo. It was a lot of electricity, between them. It was a natural reaction for him to push her off. And for her, it was a natural reaction to show affection, because her that was her greatest asset, was seducing people through love. But she actually fell in love with this alligator because they had the common enemy, and he was doing a lot to protect her. And so when he saved her life, she was like, her mission has always been to destroy people through her love, but that's the first time that anyone did an act of love with her, just just because. And so to repay him back, she gave him a kiss, and his natural reaction was to push her away. 9/11. He was like 911, 911, alert, alert, alert. The enemy's near. And she was crying. She was all crying, oh my gosh, it hurt. And it was two of them with the same mission, but with different talents. Okay, same mission, different talents. Different kind of work, a different kind of work. With the Three of Pentacles and the Sun card, it was a different kind of work. And so after that, she was so hurt with the Eight of Swords. Here you are. I never met any kind of love like this before. And so but they both were feeling the same, except both of them reacted very differently to the act of love. Okay, the Ace of Cups and the Princess of Swords. And when she had seen that he was like losing himself, going all crazy, then lost his leg and everything, her natural reaction was like, and especially when she had seen that that ring had fell out of his missing leg, and that's what he was trying to do was to find an extra leg to get to her, to give her the ring so she can fix her head. And I mean, they had a language between them too that nobody could understand, because the maker was like the maker was like, what the hell happened here? What the maker was like, because this man, his reaction to love is like fight, or flight, fight or flight. Like what the hell is going on here? I'm a man. A man doesn't just feel love. A man is a man. I'm supposed to win. I'm supposed to be on top of things. But when he realized, when it was too late, that he hurt the person that he loved the most, he started to act the whole damn fool and started to break everything. Okay, there was missing parts of him everywhere. And and the duck, the beautiful duck, she was just watching in tears of him destroying himself, and she's like, wait a minute, she's observing his how his reactions are. No, same with the broken skull, like it really hurt her, because I mean, he didn't mean to. Just he never felt anything like that. That one kiss was like he just pushed her like, whoa, like you're not supposed to kiss me, I'm on a mission to destroy the enemy. I was just doing something for you. I was on my mission, we were just on the same mission. That was it. And Aquarius, here you are. And it's like, oh, she was so upset. So pretty at the same time, but a warrior. Okay. And I just thought it was the cutest thing, because I was watching them. I was like, who could understand these robots? I was like, oh my goodness. And the maker, the actual human being, she was just like, what the hell just happened here? It reminds me of our maker, okay? Our maker saying like, damn, like, what do you want? Like, what do you want from me? Like, why does it hurt you to love? Why is love hurting you? Why does love hurt so bad? Why is it because someone has never actually experienced real love? You know, um, I believe that we experience different kinds of loves throughout our life. We'll experience puppy love. We'll experience settling love. We'll experience status love. We'll experience mature love. We'll experience mutual love. Um, there's people that have the love for the money, the love for the mission, the love for the relationship, or just love comes. I feel like, as far as love, there's different dimensions of love. Okay, because I'll tell you what, when I was 15 and stupidly in love with my first love, that love taught me friendship. It really did. I'm just sharing my little story. Okay, the world card. Listen to me, the Prince of Pentacles. Everybody experiences different types of love to teach us in the future what kind of love that will work for us. Even there's some people that they meet each other at a very young age, and they stay with each other for a very, very long time, and they will never experience anything else because that's all they know. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some people that that's what they want. They will stick thick and thin through one partner all their life. Fortunately for me, I already tried it. I tried it my first love, 11 years. I tried that. And it taught me the value of respect. And it also taught me the value of friendship. Um, my second love, um, also with my first love, I had I had learned to tame my crazy with that one. And I had also learned not to stalk. Okay. It taught me also how to respect a man's boundaries, also to respect myself physically. And then my second love, I experienced what it was to have physical love and to have when someone can buy your love, having the finer things in life, having that kind of chemistry that you only watch in the movies type of love where things seem so perfect. And so but it taught me too, that with the highs, they're also the higher it is, the the faster the fall. It also taught me to take my time with love, um, to understand that everything can't be physical, okay? Because that physical touch isn't always healthy for you, okay? It also taught me like how to sex up somebody. It taught me how to sex up somebody, how to give and receive the best sex, because I learned that I had with that love, I learned it was a give and take. Like when two people really love each other, how amazing the sex can be, how amazing that Kundalini can be. Oh my goodness. But it also taught me attachment. It taught me not to be codependent. It taught me a lot. The third love of my life, I learned stability. I learned what it was to be grounded, what it was to have a position of a wife that stayed at home, to have a position of being a mother, to be a position of being honored, holding a title, um, holding a man to his status when he works and the woman stays at home and she does her job. I may not have the other two things I had in that relationship, but I definitely got to learn what it was to have something, have real stability in my life, and how far it would take of a man to hide things from me. Also taught me to always pay attention to my intuition, even though all those years back I did, but not to lie to myself. Also how to respect myself when I'm no longer being respected, understanding that sometimes in a relationship the only person that's honest might be you, might be only them, and to understand that sometimes it is expired and there's some things in life that you can't ever fix. And if you can't fix it, you know, it's okay to walk away. It also taught me how not to seek revenge. It taught me not how to do what they done to me. It taught me to take my pain with grace. It taught me to understand that sometimes people will say one things in front of you and they will completely say a whole different behind you. It also taught me about different classes of races. Those three loves of my life were different races. I had black, I had white, and I had a Mexican. And all three of them and their backgrounds were completely different. The way they view love was completely different. And so now, as I am older and I am understanding of people's backgrounds, their views, and I'm definitely not racist, but I also learned, with the three loves of my life, that the only thing that truly matters is not what others think about your relationship. The only thing that matters is what two people think of a union that are in the relationship together. That's all that matters. Having a understanding and not codependency, but the true thing, the real, like having equal reciprocity is important. And not having people in your business and not letting too many people have an opinion on what goes on between two people, because then you might as well bring your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your friends into the relationship. How to keep your family out your business, who to talk to, how to vet correctly, not to put your hands on people. And most importantly, it's your job to be happy. It's not our job to make other people happy. It's our job to keep ourselves happy so we vibrate high that other people can understand that kind of energy and they can be in a happy place. To not give out your love to people who are willing to accept it, because like in this cartoon I was watching, That man didn't know, that alligator didn't know he didn't know what it was to love. They didn't know what real love was. So when this woman, this duck, gave her the act of affection, because with her, she never used an actual act of affection to be in gratitude for anyone or anything. She used her love to demolish people. It was a mission to destroy people. And him, it was all muscle. Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, kind of energy. And so when both of them discovered a unique kind of love and understanding for each other, the first reaction he got was fight or flight. He did both of them. And her natural reaction, because she's never been rejected, was to cry and to be upset, run around with a cracked skull, like, oh, he didn't love me. And at the end, it's just that both of them had different types of affection. Two people had two different kinds of affection. And he was trying to run after her. Look, he was running after her. Trying to explain to himself, like, well, how could I do this to her? How could I be like this to her? How could I treat her like that? And her, on the other hand, was like, how could you not accept my love? I thought you were going to accept my love. How could you just completely reject me, leave me for dead? When I showed you an act of love, like I was just being kind to you, and she was just right there in her sorrows. How could you? How could you? I put on Facebook the other day that we got to be careful who, we could sit here and cry and be like, he didn't want a good woman. She didn't want a good man. But see, everybody has different state of minds, growth and maturity throughout our lives. I could tell you that me, on the first love of my life, it taught me a lot about myself, because I realized how jealous and possessive I was, how extremely jealous and possessive I was. And this man that I was with, he was the same way with me. I didn't find out he was beating up people until like my late 30s, when they were like telling me, "Do you know did you know the first love of your life try to run me off of the bridge? We got in a fight after a basketball fight because of you. Well, the reason he punched me was because of you." And I'm like, I didn't know this. I didn't know. I didn't know. But I was extremely jealous and possessive. Stockton was always looking through his phone. And so by the second time I fell in love again, I was like, I'm not going to be like that. But in return, that man was just like that with me. He always tried to buy my love. He would buy me the whole world. It was beautiful. He used to take me to very expensive places. He used to like wine and dine me. But see, when there was no money, when he felt like he was broke, that's when the ugly side will come out, because he measured love as his pockets. He thought his pockets was love, because he was used to buying people, buying love, and he thought that maybe I was only with him because of the amount of money that he had in his wallet. And that wasn't why. I actually fell in love with the way that he used to. I mean, because he used to kiss every single inch of my body, and he used to kiss and caress me. And that physical, like, I've never been loved like physically. I've never felt that kind of love ever in my life. Like, that's not how me and my first love had. Me and him were childhood sweethearts, and it was a friendship. It was a beautiful friendship that we had. We grew up with each other. We learned everything. It was puppy love. But the second love, like, it taught me a lot about physical attraction. And I've never in my life had that much sex ever in my life, ever. And so it was different, and it drove him insane. And he thought he had to always touch me. He always had to have his hands on me. And he always wanted me to look beautiful. Like, he used to buy, I mean, I can tell you, I've had some amazing moments. But, my third love taught me stability. That was great to understand what it really was to be treated like a wife, to have that status and to be honored by it. And so, and some people will never, there's some people to this day, even at my age, at 35, have never experienced what it really is to be loved for who you are. They've had different kinds of experience, kind of love. And they will take it as being scarred. They would take it like some people get so used to not having it, they're so comfortable without it. They don't even want it. They're not trying to have a broken skull. They're not trying to have a missing leg. And we got to be realistic with ourselves sometimes, that and that's what somebody don't want. We can't force them, because they might fight you and they might just run the hell away from you. And then maybe when, but there's those special occasions where two people do feel the same for each other. And after experiencing the tower moment, they realize, yo, I don't think I could live without this person. Honestly, I don't feel like if they were to walk out of my life, I would be just lying to myself. Like this this alligator was really he broke his leg off. He was so upset. He was like, and he was beating up everybody. He was punching the walls, everything. Like he couldn't live with himself that he hurt the duck like that. Like he didn't know how to react. He's never felt love before. He didn't know that was what love felt like. He just knew that he had to fight back, because that's all he knew, was to fight and run away. Like as soon as he felt love in front of him, he was like, I got to go. You ain't finna, oh no, you're not finna do me like I've seen these other people. But we got to understand other people's love stories ain't your love story. My love stories are not your love stories. This is just an experience that I had myself. And I'm just sharing it with you guys so you guys could understand that we cannot be looking at other people and their love stories and want the same thing they want. Because if we're watching things on TV and you're like, oh, I want that love story, a lot of those love stories are made up, baby. The real thing in real life, it will take a lot of patience. It's going to take some tower moments sometimes where you realize, like, yeah, I'm a fuck up. Yeah, okay. Damn, he loved me for the fuck up that I am. Like, who else is going to love me for the fuck up that I am? Who else? Who else will? Some people will only love you for the things that you bring to the table. Some people will only love you for the physical things that you got. Like some people will only love you for the friendship. We all have different formulas. We all have different types of loves that suit us. Have you ever seen like Young Jeezy and Janae? Okay, Janae, she had her love story before Young Jeezy, right? She was married to a Caucasian man, and they both had agreed that they didn't want kids. Okay, and as soon as they divorced, he had already had another woman pregnant, and she was really hurt. And she started to date Young Jeezy, and they're different races too. And for the first time, she actually wanted to conceive a child. And we got to start thinking about it. Why does our body naturally tell us that we don't want to conceive with one person, but with another person we naturally do want to conceive? Would it be the thing is chemistry, or it just fits like a glove? It Our DNA calls onto them. Our DNA yearns to mix with them, because and I do feel sorry for people who are out here randomly having kids with people they don't give a damn about. But she's really happy. You could tell both of them, they're really, really happy. And Jeezy used to date women with statuses and power and stuff like that. And I honestly feel like how they look at each other is genuine love. Like he's very genuine with her because she has taught him a lot about her culture. She's Asian. In the Asian culture, they practice a lot of Buddhism, natural healing, and stuff like that, being happy people. And so he's like in a state of mind of happiness. He's already surpassed his gangster days, those days that he was very masculine, and now he could sit down and enjoy a family because now he can actually enjoy love. He can enjoy the fruits of his labor with someone that fits his spirit. If we go along constantly asking other people for the opinion of your love story, you're not going to have one. You are not going to have a love story if you're constantly asking validation from other people about how you feel. Love, as far as love, you should feel that in your soul. It should make you yearn a person. It should make you, and you don't have to take advice from me because I'm single, okay? And I'm giving you a lot of my time, okay? But just a talk with me and you, Aquarius. Why is it that some men could settle down with other women? It just they it's a special formula that they have that makes them want to settle down. I once said before, I had a guy friend of mine. He was a player for life. So where's my wife? Probably at the rehab smoking a pipe. Okay. He was a real too short. Okay. I never thought the day he would ever settle down. And the day he did settle down, he had so many great women, wifeys, all of that, but none of them can make him settle down. The woman that he finally settled down to was a woman who acted like a complete A-class bitch. But I liked her because with her, she actually knew how to handle him, knew how to like, nope, you're not going to be around that. You're not going to be. She put standards and she put boundaries and she made him respect her as her wife and the position that she held. And although I did not like the way that she treated him, I totally love the fact that he was, for the first time in his damn life, was faithful to someone and took her serious. Didn't walk all over her. Like there was actual like hope. I was like, yes, thank the Lord. But in order for him to have that, he had to not give a damn about anybody else. And a lot of people hated it. They didn't like it. But at the end of the day, you still have to accept it because at the end of the day, nobody lays up with your partner but you. Your mama ain't gonna lay up with your partner. Your sister, your brother, your work ain't gonna lay up with your partner. No one will lay up with your partner but you. So it's important that between two people, there's joy between two people. How are you going to be two lost people in love? Two people that can't even find a common ground. The women he was dating were all very submissive. They allowed him to do whatever he want, hoping that he could see they were good women. And like I said, he didn't settle down until that one woman came and respected herself and was like, oh no, you're not going to treat me like these other hoes. So, in the matters of love, Aquarius, I say be with the person that is good for you. Don't be the person that's good for your family, good for your friends, because then you might as well not date that person and let your partner date your mommy, your daddy, your work buddies. Because at the end of the day, try telling them they can't date who they're dating. Try telling them that, and see how good that works out for you. We constantly want to tell people, we can't help who our brothers and our sisters get into relationships with. We can't help that. We can't help who at the end of the day, we can dislike them because they will tell you all the war stories, but they won't tell you the love parts. Because for some reason, as humans, we like to talk about the ugly, but we forget to tell them the beautiful part. We forget to mention, well, did I tell you that, because of them, um I, became a better person. Oh yes, we were going through a tough time, but through all the thick and thins, to the stuff that they have endured with me, I have endured with them. Like, I still love them, you know keeping it 1,000, and knowing that sometimes it's better to talk to a therapist and talk to your family, friends, and people who you're venting out to, just when you're in a frustrated place, and they will start to dislike your partner because you speak on disliking your partner, when in reality you love them. It's better to talk to a therapist. It's better to talk to yourself, or take time out and write it on a piece of paper and then burn it, because your family and your friends are going to start acting like they're dating your partner, and that's not okay. That's not okay. And we as humans, we need to learn our place too, as a sibling, as a mother, as a father, as a daughter, as a cousin. We may not like who our family, whoever it is that they're dating, but it's not our position to speak for them, because the only person that can leave that person is them, until they're tired of the madness. All we can do is give them an open ear, but you got to be careful who you give that open ear to, because I'll tell you what, you could be in a very happy union and you see some other people going through a very destructive one, that can leak into your union, because you start to play out what they're going through into yours. Protect your union as much as you can if it's in a happy place, away from negative people, and they can also look and start being envious of your relationship because you have it good, and send those kind of negative vibes or energy to a very protected union. And it was funny because at the end of the cartoon, the maker was all confused. Like, I thought you didn't want to be with that person. I thought they would make, from what they could see. From what they could see, it's just that person didn't understand that this act of frustration and the acts that they were doing, it was all in the name of love, not understanding. Anyways, I hope this can teach you something, Aquarius, something about love. And thank you for your time.